Cheers. Ding. Ching. Oh, very good. Well, welcome back to the Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour. I'm Mike Witzak.
My name is Rory Farrell.
And today we're a little bit of a different backdrop here. We forgot the sign. We always forget that we could take that sign off and put it places. But
I like this, though.
yeah, this is nice. It's a lot nicer.
The whole point of going somewhere off-site is to kind of embrace the ambiance.
So we're right up the road at Wake Coffee House. Is that
Coffee roasters?
Coffee Roasters? Something like that.
Oh, yeah, Wake. They got one in Ambler, which we go to quite often. And then
Yes.
this is just literally right up the street, right on Bethlehem Pike in Flowertown.
Yeah,
So.
this is definitely our new primary location. We went to
sure.
the Ambler one a lot more, but yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I reached out to them while you were in Vietnam and just said, hey, we want to come do a podcast. And they were like, come on through, made it super easy. So shout out to those guys and go out and support a local coffee roaster and local business.
yeah, and I will admit this feels very weird without the headphones.
It-
I could
it does feel weird.
it sounds quiet almost. It's not right. But instead of a beer today, we have a vanilla latte.
Yeah, I didn't need a beer today.
No. 2 o'clock.
Most of the days I don't need a beer.
No,
in the
2
middle of the
o'clock
day.
on a Thursday is not a great time to have beer.
I mean, sometimes
So.
it is. When you have to go back to the office for a couple hours, no.
Yeah.
So, cheers.
Cheers, dude.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Very good, by the way.
And the boys over here.
And fun fact about while I was in Vietnam, I loved their coffee there, and I loved it black. I never drink coffee black, and I was very confused. I was like, why is this coffee so much better black than the coffee back home? It's because they use Robusta beans, something like that.
Should ask these guys. They would know.
They might know, but it's a lot less acidic than these beans that
It's
we use in
sweeter.
the States, and it's a lot sweeter.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I've been looking online to try and get
I thought
get
you
some of
were
them.
just trying to I'm trying to save money, except I'm going to go buy exotic.
No,
Robusta
they're in
beans.
they were in my Amazon cart, but then they were moved to my Amazon wish list because I'm saving money. So they're there though. I'll get them later.
Is that a hint dropped for your birthday coming up? You want me to get you some Robusto beans?
I didn't want you to give me anything for my birthday, but yeah, if you want to give me Robusto beans,
You're like,
that'd be
while we're
great.
talking about
Yeah, since you brought it up, sure.
Just remember, my birthday's coming up in June.
Yeah, I got it on the big ass calendar. Don't worry.
Got a couple other birthdays on that calendar.
Got a lot of got a lot of birthdays on that calendar. Some people we may not know. Some people we may not want to know.
Historical figures.
Yeah, some historical figures. So anyway, shout out to former President Barack Hussein Obama. So what are we talking about today, Rory? You chose the topic.
I mean, I'm sure you run into this all the time as well, but recently someone asked me, like, how do you get paid? Like, because, as a buyer, they want to make sure that they're kind of making sure that all of their financiers are in order, and they want to know how I get paid and do they pay them, and, for whatever the case is. So I thought it was important to talk about us as a broker, how it's a little different than maybe going directly to, like, a bank or a credit union, and how we get paid. So, first and foremost, one of the biggest things people are doing these days is shopping, right? So, which is important. You wouldn't buy a toaster oven without shopping around a little bit, or a car, or whatever. So, obviously, the biggest purchase of your life, you should shop around. And
yeah.
I never discourage anyone from shopping around. I feel pretty confident in, given an apples to apples opportunity to compare, we're always going to be at least competitive, if not way better terms.
Yeah, if not extremely competitive.
But part of that is that as a broker, we have access to how many banks do you think we work with? A dozen or more?
Yeah, more probably, but
Yeah.
yes, dozen would be a fair statement.
So I would say, we in-house do shopping around for the client in and of, just the fact that we're a broker. So, if you go to Bank of America or Citibank or, whatever, and name whatever bank, they have the programs and the rates and the terms that are within their house, right?
Yep.
But, you come to us, we have 10, 12 different banks that we can shop around to, different programs, different products.
It's funny you say that because I'm currently my neighbor that is under contract on a home right now. I'm trying to help him out with rate shopping and hopefully, win that deal. And he's working with SoFi right now. And SoFi advertised a rate. And I said, well, find out how much they're charging you for that rate.
Yeah.
And she actually sent him, I don't know why she sent him this, but she sent him the yield spreads. Like when we were shopping rates, she sent him the yield spreads. Like what we look at. And I got to look at all of her rates.
I mean, that's foreign to
That's
anyone who's
bizarre.
not
Yeah, he was like, she sent me this. Does this help? And I was like, well, yeah, it helps me. So I was
It
like,
helps us.
I was like, she's definitely charging you for that rate now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can give you the same rate today, charging you nothing. Like, we'd be charging you nothing, and I can give you the same rate, but she's 100% charging you something for that. So
It's crazy too, because I mean, not that buyers should know what to look at. It's not something that they should even understand. But
No.
you know, when we're giving other estimates from other lenders, it's so obvious. You know what
Yeah.
people are doing. The other lenders often will say, yeah, we'll match that rate and say it's 699 or whatever. Then all of a sudden there's like $5,000 in fees that weren't mentioned. They're on there, but weren't
Yep.
mentioned. And the way that they often manipulate that is they manipulate the bottom line to look better than our estimate.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of things on an estimate that can be manipulated that we have no control over, like escrows or transfer tax or whatever, to make their bottom lines look better. When in reality they're charging thousands more for the same rate.
Yeah, they're charging thousands more for the same rate. And the other thing too is some banks like when we shop around banks, we're not only shopping around rates for them, but we're also shopping around how can we move this quicker through processing and underwriting. We're also shopping around how do they regulate their guidelines. You know, some banks are going to have different guidelines than others, so it might be a smoother process to send you here. This bank might not approve you. You might have to go to this bank to get approved. So we're not only shopping rates, but we're shopping around like the service and the smoothness of your deal.
Yeah, it's
really.
not just the tangible rates.
No.
Yeah, like if you have a deal that's closing in 21 days, the lender with the best rates might not be the best lender to get your loan done
Yeah.
in 3 weeks.
And sometimes we do have the lender with the best rate and the best,
Yeah.
the quickest turn times. But
That's why it's important to shop though and like talk to a mortgage professional that you
Absolutely.
truly trust or get a recommendation from.
yeah, I had a kid that I worked with for 2 months, and then as soon as I left for Vietnam, he went under contract on a house, and you guys closed it before I got back. So it was.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what we're doing when we're shopping around. We're not just looking at number one the rates, but we're looking at everything else too.
Yeah. And then so to kind of get back to the original reason we started talking about this is like, how do we get paid? So the way that I try and explain it to
Tom Howe.
How pays a salary.
Yes.
But how do we make money on each deal or per deal? So, a lot of times as a broker in any other industry, you're paying that broker to basically find you the best deal, and there's some sort of finder's fee. Well, it's similar in our industry. However, we are in a lot of cases are charging the borrower, quote unquote, this fee, but then the lender that we send their loan to basically gives a lender credit to cover our fee. So the reason why they do that is because we could send their loan to 10 different lenders, right? So it's kind of like a finder's fee for sending their loan to that specific lender. And that oversimplifies it, but
I think, even then too, I think the best way to describe it is the bank pays us to send your loan to them.
right.
And the better your credit score is, and the more money you put down, and the better your parameters are, the more money we get paid. And the better of a rate we can give you. So those are really how we get paid. Like the very simple your 5-year-old terms,
Yeah, and I think the main point of that is that we don't charge the borrower, from a net cost perspective, we don't charge the borrower really anything.
No.
In most cases. Now, there are certainly situations where a borrower wants a better rate, which costs more money, so that is what it is.
Yep.
Vice versa. Let's say they need a credit, like a bigger lender credit to cover their costs. That comes with a higher rate. The point is kind of like in the normal terms, we generally do not charge the borrower really anything more than like $295 for a processing fee.
Correct.
To work with the broker. So oftentimes when I tell people that, they're like, wait, hold on. It's only like, why wouldn't I work with you?
Yeah, literally our only fee is the $295 fee that we charge.
Mm-hmm.
That's like from loan to loan. And other than that, the bank charges a fee. You have your credit report fee, you have your appraisal fee, but like those are all fees that come along with it. We're not charging you that because we want to make the money.
Those all go to basically third parties.
Those go to pay what we paid for already,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
there's
there's a million different benefits of working with a broker versus going directly to a bank. But the big thing I wanted to touch on is just, we don't directly charge the borrower from a net perspective.
No.
What's coming out of their pocket. So
no. I don't know how much more honest you guys want us to be. I mean, you guys can come. We can show you everything. I'll sit you down and I'll show you how we do everything here and pull the curtains, and you can look behind them because we're just being totally transparent. I feel like people think we're lying.
What a novel idea is being transparent with.
It's just bizarre to me though. I just think people genuinely think like I'm trying to pull a quick one on them by being so honest. Yeah, there's just so many scumbags.
Reputation.
As Rory would say, dirtbags.
Dirtbags.
A lot of dirtbags.
Real garbage people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of what our company does differently is we try to be as transparent as possible. Just so that people understand. People feel educated.
We try and be good people. Crazy thought,
man.
Sure. Reach Nirvana. Anyway,
Whatever you believe in. Karma.
Yeah. Okay. You got to win.
Oh shoot, I got to win. I do have a win. This and kind of right in line with what we were just talking about. This client came to me, and I had been working with them, pre-approved them. They finally got a house under contract. They come to me and they say, "Hey, by the way, we're shopping." I said, "Cool, no problem. As long as we're, you're being transparent with me, I'm going to be transparent with you. Let's look at these other estimates." We look at them, and he's like, "Well, how come, I might go with these guys. How come their fees are less?" And I said, "Well, let's look at it. Their fees are actually $5,000 more, but again, because what I was talking about, they made the bottom line look better." And once I educated them and kind of walked it through the estimate line by line, they're like, "Oh yeah, like I totally would have went with an inferior lender, inferior product." But because I took the time to kind of educate them, they felt confident with me and moving forward with me, and now we're cruising. So
Yeah. Awesome.
appraisal just came in on that one.
Cool.
All good. Commitment out. Closing in 2 weeks.
So I like to hear, baby.
Yeah. For you?
Sure. Back from Vietnam, alive, safe, sound.
With or without malaria? Do we know yet?
We won't know for a couple months.
Well, good luck with that.
Thanks. What else? I think I had a really good February. Shout out you guys, and
You're looking sharp as hell too.
yeah,
Shout out to Mr.
Mr.
Z.
Yeah, probably because that might be my win. I've been meal prepping, I've been saving money, and I'm dripping or drowning. So
That's all the time we have today, you guys.
Yep, that's all.
Happy Friday. Thanks for tuning in. You look good, and welcome back.
Thanks, Ka.
Cheers.
Cheers. We should just make that a running.
And shout out to Wake one more time. Go check them out, whether in Ambler or specifically this location, Flower Town. Great customer service, killer coffee, and the vibe is very cool around here. I love it. So check them out.
Yes,
Bye.
I love their coffee too.